Now that Peter knows the true horrifying identity of Kindred, what will he do next? Well then, let's hop into the pages of Amazing Spider-Man issue number 54 and find out together, shall we? Alrighty then, so at the end of the previous issue, Spider-Man had come face to face with Harry Osborn, the man behind Kindred. Not an illusion, not a chameleon or Mysterio trick, the real McCoy. And for a second you might be thinking, oh well, this revelation is really gonna crush poor Pete, right? This is the last thing he needed in his life right now, but hilariously, Nick Spencer chooses to go a complete meta route with this. By which I mean, Peter actually isn't scared at all once he realizes it's Harry and fully thinks it through. After all, how many times have they done this dance before? Harry'll go off his meds, he'll think he's the Green Goblin again, you'll start hearing his father whispering in his ear and try to kill Spider-Man, but Peter has always defeated him every single time without fail. In fact, Spider-Man says as he's beating down Kindred, he was actually scared. He thought that he was a real deal demon from hell that could control life and death, but now that he knows it's just Harry, this shouldn't be a problem. Only that is the problem, as Harry goes on to explain he's absolutely sane right now, and that after a lifetime of being chased by his own inner demons, Harry opted to become a true demon himself, complete with all the powers therein. And as far as hell goes, well, interesting thing about that is Harry claims he has indeed been to hell and it's nothing like Peter can imagine. Which is why Harry then again proceeds to kill Peter over and over and over again so he can get a glimpse of hell only to pull him back at the last minute. As Harry further goes on to explain, the thing about hell is that it's not the fire and the torture that gets you, it's the fact that you will see your life and not be able to take part, your sins laid bare. And in fact, this is what it's always been about for Harry, trying to get Peter to be a better person, to confront his sins head on instead of running from them. That's why Harry brought back the Sin Eater and sent him after Norman Osborn. That's why all the other Spider characters have gotten involved in all of this. All Peter had to do was to stay away, to do nothing and not take on more sin. But as Harry goes on to say, Peter just can't help himself. He always has to be the hero swinging in at the last moment. He can't leave anything well enough alone, and even when things go horribly wrong and he does end up taking on more sin, what does he do? Oh, he just makes a deal with the devil to get out of it. Wow, you know, those One More Day references keep coming faster and furious, but this is probably the most direct reference we've gotten so far, while also still being a regular old turn of phrase. It's also here too where the events of the special Point LR issues start syncing back up with the main story. You see, using his magic powers, Kindred shows that Spider-Man's friends are walking into a trap. A trap that they wouldn't have been in the first place if Peter had just done what Kindred wanted him to do from the get-go. But they're not alone either, as Mary Jane had returned to New York and is with them. And so the question becomes, as the comic comes to a close, what sort of deal will Spider-Man be willing to make to get out of this problem? And so that was Amazing Spider-Man issue number 54, everybody, and once again I think Nick Spencer has really started to hit his stride with this series now that we're really digging into the nitty-gritty of what Kindred is and what he's after. You gotta appreciate the certain level of self-awareness and meta-commentary wherein Peter in the story basically says, well, duh, I assumed you were Kindred, Harry, you were everyone's first choice, you're just cliche. But then to actually keep peeling back the layers more and more, and again bring this back to the events of One More Day and how Harry kinda ended up being a casualty in Peter's whole rewriting of the universe. Then again, we as the reader know what that's all about, but it seems like Peter is still very much in the dark and Kindred is drawing out the big reveal of what he did and why he's so mad. And once that shoe drops and that information is truly out there in the open, what will that do to Spider-Man? What will it do to his relationship with Mary Jane and the part she played in all of it? I don't know, but I'm excited to see where it goes. Overall, I'd give this one an 8.5 out of 10.
Hey there everyone, Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. It really helps drive engagement and helps me out too. Also, if you are a patron, which you can become for as little as $1 a month, you will get exclusive content that no one else can ever see, and you'll get to see the Comic Multiverse podcast before anyone else too. You can check out all this and more down in the description. And until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.